Well, hello students, welcome back to Mathematics Specialist class with me, Mr. Alfie. Another way to represent complex numbers is by Argand diagram. In Argand diagram, instead of x-axis and y-axis, we represent as real axis and imaginary axis. For example, this three complex number z1. z1 equal to 10 plus 5i. 10 is represent the real number in this complex number, so this is 10. And 5i represent the imaginary number in this complex number, so this is 5i. So, z1 actually here in this Argand diagram. And it's applied also in z2. 9 is a real number and negative 4 is the imaginary number. So this is for z2. And for z3, negative 3 is the real number and 5i is the imaginary number. So in this Argand diagram, this is z3. And then there is absolute value of complex numbers. For example, if a complex number z equal to ai plus b, the absolute value of z, denoted like this one, equal to square root of a squared plus b squared. Or, the other hand, the absolute number of a complex number is a square of a total square of the component, either the real component or imaginary component. So, let's go back to the example. For z1 is 10 plus 5i. So, the absolute value of complex number actually is the distance between the origin point with the complex number. So it is actually, we're going to find the length of this row. It is form two right angle triangle. So z1 or absolute z1 equal to square root of 10 squared plus 5 squared equal to square root of 121. How about z2? z2 is 9 minus 4i. So absolute number of z2 equal to 9 squared plus negative 4 squared equal to 97 squared. How about z3? z3 is negative 3 plus 6i. So the absolute value of z3 is square root of negative 3 squared plus 6 squared equal to square root of 45.
How will you plot the complex number a plus bi on the Argand plane? Assume a and b are both positive. We will move a units right on the real axis and b units up to get to the point a comma b. We can call it point P and let's say the origin is point O. Now just focus on point P. If you want to ask your friend to plot point P, how would you do it? Your friend just has an empty graph in front of her and you want to ask her to plot point P. Let's move this graph to the left and have an empty one on the right. So one thing you could tell your friend is move A units to the right and B units upwards and you will get point P. Is there any other way in which you can ask her to plot this point? Let me give you a hint. I join points O and P and call this angle theta and assume this length is r. This was a big hint. What can you tell your friend such that she plots point P correctly? Well, you can tell your friend two things. First, the distance of points P from the origin, and second, the angle at which length OP is placed from the positive side of the horizontal axis. So if you tell her that point P is r units long at an angle of theta degrees from the positive x-axis, she will be able to precisely plot point P. So this was another way to represent point P. You can either give her A and B or r and theta. In either case, she will be able to plot point P. This thing you see on the right is the polar representation of a complex number. Nothing different and nothing fancy. It's the same concept, we're just using different parameters to represent point P.